Let her cook. Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, cause she like a double-edged sword. She couldn't tell left and right. And it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go.
Have you heard that Caitlin Clark's choice to move after the playoffs has not been well received by everyone? Let's just say that as they see her recognize her worth, the WNBA and ESPN are incensed. And it is infuriating them, so let's move on.
Let me say this. I love the point that you made about Caitlin Clark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with off the court. We got to remember she's been box office. She was the main attraction, and there were so many storylines that's been associated with her. Most recently, the whole thing with her and Cheryl Swoops, even though it really wasn't her. It was Cheryl Swoops and all this. Every time you turned around, there was something that she had to deal with.
Caitlin Clark has packed her bags and left the United States for an off-season following her first WNBA season. Throughout Europe, but ESPN is quite unhappy about this. They are acting like babies and having tantrums, as though they had any authority over Caitlin Clark, but following their contemptuous coverage of the biggest talent in the WNBA, ESPN doesn't have the authority to determine whether Clark leaves or remains in that pitiful league.
Struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said. That is what she said, okay? But to me, it's a bigger issue going.
Didn't give a damn when she was performing well while being under tremendous strain. Didn't save her when she most needed it. So now that she's gone, they're left scavenging for leftovers because now, since no one is following the WNBA, everyone's main concern is whether or not she is leaving the WNBA to compete in a different league abroad. And let me tell you about all the news stories that are going around. These articles on social media are, to put it mildly, untrustworthy, but we can verify that she's already departed from America to travel to Europe on a 200-day vacation. But will she participate in the European leagues? Well, here's what we are aware of.
That news, we've already heard from Caitlin Clark that she will not be playing overseas. She won't be playing in any organized basketball organization. She actually said that she is going to become a professional golfer during this offseason.
Don't know. She has also been an amazing soccer player during her college years.
Her highlights from one game where she scored 3 goals. That's right, 3 goals in one game. And I know these highlights are far from HD 4K, so I zoomed in after each goal so you could get a closer look. Caitlin does such a good job of staying on sides here, and then the second that pass goes through, she puts on the afterburners and then hammers it home low.
Indeed, you heard right. Caitlin Clark is prepared to start after dominating the basketball court and sparking the WNBA. Her off-season professional golf career, she now aspires to break her own golf records.
Instead of owning the fact that what really was their objective and what really was their agenda is that they resented the fact that this young lady who came into the league, took it by storm, and drew in a level of attention that they weren't able to endure. They weren't able to.
For those of you who don't know, she was an excellent soccer player in college.
Now, during this offseason, the players are already moving around. So a couple players have already announced that they are going overseas. We have Kelsey Mitchell going to play in China, Nalissa Smith also playing in China, and Nalissa Smith is one where there was a big question mark around her if she would be returning to the Indiana Fever, but she'll be going to play in China, and Temi Fagbenle will be playing in Turkey.
Now that she is soaring high, she's a versatile athlete who can make her mark and succeed in any discipline. It distinguishes her from the other WNBA players. AS, ESPN, and the WNBA have discovered Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. However, her ship has already crossed the Atlantic, so it's too late.
It addresses my point. My point is, she's the golden goose. You have been clamoring for attention. You've been clamoring for more cachet, fair and equitable treatment, chartered jets, weight room facilities, dollars, marketing opportunities, etc., etc.
Now, the debate is whether she should stay in the WNBA or move to a more powerful league in Europe or somewhere else. Like many of her colleagues, given how badly she has been treated this season by the WNBA and her opponents,
WNBA season ending for many teams, there are already so many players heading overseas to play during the off-season. But with all of the drama currently surrounding the WNBA, on top of the low-paying salaries, some of these players are questioning if they'll even return.
The dilemma here is whether Caitlin Clark should remain in the WNBA and risk additional losses of her fitness reputation and overall potential, even though she has stated that she is not joining any European leagues and that she may return to the league next season.
In her exit interview, Storm player Gabby Williams warned the WNBA, if you want to keep international players, you need to do better. So here's what she had to say.
The W thinks that they don't have to pay us more in order for us to be here. And I think I didn't express that when I first talked about prioritization. You know, our commissioner talked about us being able to, you know, make $700,000. That's not true at all. There's not one player who makes that. And we were promised, you know, team marketing agreements and legal marketing agreements, but they've fallen quite short. So it's still not enough for us international players to want to stay here. And that's a choice of the players. If I make a choice to make more money and whatever, and then the, you know, teams are mad that I don't come back, but that's how it is. So yes, it just, the WNBA, you know, if you want us to be here, you have to pay us more. It's business. It's how it works.
The question at hand is whether Caitlin Clark should stay in the WNBA and run the risk of suffering further losses of her reputation for athleticism and general potential, despite her declaration that she will not be participating in any European leagues and that she might play again the following season.
Specifically, a lot of these casual fans who have come into watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, who plays a smooth style of basketball, who shoots from really far away, who makes great passes, who handles the ball well. People are coming for a style of play that is similar to that. They are not looking for post players to be posting up on one another, drop step, one step to the basket, cheap shots, fouls, slow style of basketball. They want to see a run and gun game, and I think that that is the most exciting way to watch a women's.
Wouldn't it be better if Caitlin joined a better league so her fans will follow her? Additionally, European leagues offer more alluring bonuses and competitive wages than the WNBA, as well as improved playing circumstances. Many players have already departed to offer their skills overseas after growing disenchanted with the WNBA's control. With example, Gabby Williams, a forward with the Seattle Storm, expressed dissatisfaction with the WNBA's low salary and dearth of prospects for advancement. Instead of taking any action to appease her, the WNBA officials chose to blatantly disregard her. Additionally, Gabby revealed the commissioner's falsehoods.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
This is exactly the problem with the WNBA. They don't give a damn whether players get paid less. Being constantly fouled or receiving rude treatment from other players, she had to look for something better. Opportunities after her demands were turned down, and she signed a contract for Baka SK with the Turkish squad. In 2024,
said Caitlin Clark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against Caitlin.
And the biggest victim of WNBA officials is now Caitlin Clark. The jealous veterans mistreated her, disrespectfully, ridiculed her on the court, while her critics did all in their ability to torment her. Remember the well-known iPoke incident where Caitlin Clark suffered a blatant foul? During the game, Dwight Carrington was openly praising it with her teammates. They ridiculed fair play and sportsmanship, and the WNBA did nothing but watch in silence.
My issue and my question is, where the fuck are her teammates at? Where y'all at? Where the rest of the Indiana Fever at? I've seen a couple girls smirk when she's got knocked down, half-assed to pick her up. Like, y'all supposed to protect the asset, protect the star. And all this is the team. She's the star. You always protect your star.
Angel Reese took part in the same celebrations after Caitlin Clark's harsh fouls. The WNBA deliberately ignored her violations and took no action.
Struggled with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark said. That is what she said, okay? But to me, it's a bigger issue going.
So where was the outrage? In other words, ESPN did not support Caitlin Clark in any kind and did not denounce the attackers for their blatant intimidation of the best WNBA player in a long time.
We should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old.
Clark has had enough, as evidenced by the number of fouls she has received this season, and is quitting a league that has been using her as a punching bag.
Since Caitlin Clark has arrived on the scene, record ratings, record revenue, everything that you could think, record attendance, everything. They've never had it before.
You heard properly, yes. Why should WNBA Rookie of the Year Caitlin Clark remain? We are aware that she has assisted If Clark hadn't been injured, the Indiana Fever could have won that postseason game since they play so well. During her debut season, Clark received about 20% of the team's total fouls, or almost 1/5 of the overall number of fouls during the season.
But when you have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her, that is an issue. And that's not just an issue that the players have to work out. That is from top down. That goes to the commissioner level. That is the level that needs to control these kinds.
The continuous fouls required her to physically defend herself. Clark acknowledged that she felt as if someone were beating her.
And those folks were very, very loud and conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving Caitlin Clark. When we pointed that out, we said why? What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all boats.
Her team could hardly draw a few thousand fans prior to Caitlin, but when she made her debut, she sold out stadiums, filled arenas, and transformed the sport.
Well, that's it, you guys. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were just kicked from the WNBA playoffs, and it looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled league.
But has she been treated like the famous person she is by ESPN? No. They didn't hit the mark, and now they're desperately trying to. To keep up their good name, Caitlin Clark has proven since she entered the scene that she is the greatest of the best, and more than just a star, defeating Hall of Fame players like Diana Taurasi on multiple occasions. Events.
What will this mean for WNBA ratings? During Game 1 of the playoffs, the Fever had nearly 2 million viewers tuning in, while all the other games had around 400,000. Even the WNBA Countdown, which was aired before the Indiana Fever game, had more viewers than 2 of the series. With Caitlin's departure, do we think that these new WNBA fans are going to stick around for the rest of the playoffs? The Liberty Aces series might be one that draws some numbers. The disparity between 1.8 million and around 400,000 is wild, especially with football season being in full swing.
Furthermore, the WNBA decided to overlook the fact that their main attraction was ousted while she was bearing the weight of the entire league. But now that Caitlin wants to succeed for herself and has had enough, they all appear to be concerned about the loss.